Hello everyone, this is a very special day for me because I'm here with my very good friend Jonathon Quek. He is the founder of Owner Circle. He's also the best-selling author for Keep Investment Simple and Stupid. A rather provocative topic, but again, a very powerful book. And one thing that I really like about Jonathon is that he has this ability to dissect very complex concepts and then really sharing it out in a very simple way for common people like us to understand. So today I thought it's such a great honor for me to have him here with us as part of this KenTrade Challenge and to actually just share with us some of his thoughts and tips about stock trading and also investment. And also one of the things I really like about Jonathon is that he analyzes a lot of fundamentals in businesses, showing me oftentimes how businesses grow, how businesses scale. And thank you again, Jonathon, for being here. I need to shake your hand. Always a pleasure. Good friend of mine. Jonathon, my first question. I'm a newbie. I'm going into the KenTrade Challenge. I'm learning how to trade and invest in stocks for the first time. What would be your top 3 tips that you would advise a newbie like me when I want to pick my stock?
Well, I still remember when I first started investing. The first thing I did was I went out to look for who are the best investors in the world. And I saw names like Warren Buffett, Peter Lynch, Philip Fisher, and I started to analyze what is it that made them very successful. And I noticed there's few things that they have in common. Number one, they don't pick stocks. They invest in businesses. They do not look at themselves as just a trader, because what they do is they look at themselves as a shareholder of a business.
Interesting.
So my first suggestion for anyone out there is to really learn from these gurus, because these are the guys who have been there, done that. And if you look at what they do, they invest like a business owner, they analyze the business, they ask themselves, do they want to be a part of such a business? And very often, most people, they go into stock trading not realizing what are the categories of stocks.
So they're not educating themselves.
They're not educating themselves enough. But if you look into stock trading, most of the time you've got to understand what's the reason you're getting into this. Are you investing because you want cash flow? Or are you investing because you want capital gains? So if you want cash flow, you should be looking into companies which I call them investment grade stock. Very stable companies, some people call them blue chip stocks. They give very good dividends, and these are what we call investment grade stocks. At the same time, if participants who are in this program and they want to look at capital gain, because it's a competition, so they should be looking at turnaround stocks. They should be looking at emerging stocks. These are the companies that's able to achieve very high growth, very high capital gains for this competition.
I would say that those are all like your opinion. Definitely, I think like this KenTrade Challenge, one thing I really like about it, John, is that it allows us to invest and trade and really experiment with virtual cash. So it allows us to make all the mistakes and leverage and learn from the best practices that we have actually gathered in our KenTrade Challenge journey, if I would say. Very powerful point right there. Yes.
I think it's amazing KenTrade has come out with a program like this, because 10 years ago when I started investing, I was still a computer science student. The best way I could learn was really to go into simulation, because there's so much books can teach you. And I lost some money when I was still a student. It wasn't much, but it meant a lot to me. And that was really the biggest lessons that I learned.
I'm just going to go straight to the next point that I'm going to ask, and I think it actually troubles a lot of people, I'm new in stock trading, I'm just starting to invest, starting to really understand the craft, And you just mentioned about when you started like 10 years ago, you lost a little bit of money. My question to you now is, I'm a newbie, how do I shift my mindset when or if I incur a loss? If I invested in a bad stock, how do I like quickly shift myself out of that loser mindset and quit beating myself up, How do I bounce back fast? Anything.
Well, my suggestion is stop looking at yourself as a speculator, and really start looking at yourself as an investor. You no longer want to pick a stock and just make money out of a stock. Rather, you start looking at yourself as building an equities portfolio. And when you're building a portfolio, that's where you have a strategy. And there's different kind of stocks that you need to go into. As I mentioned, you need to look into the investment grade stocks, emerging companies, the turnaround companies. At the same time, you might even want to look into some startups, which has high conversion at the same time. So when you have a strategy, you notice that you're no longer putting everything in one basket. you have a basket of equities, and when you have a strategy, you also know when to cut loss, right, and when to take profits, right. For Warren Buffett, his best time for holding on to a stock is forever. Unfortunately, not many people can have that patience to do that, right?
Right. Interesting. Well, thank you for that point. Thank you. And I must admit, getting involved with this KenTrade Challenge, well, I am a little bit fearful. Okay, to be honest, very fearful. Okay, I don't know what's the right steps to take or whatnot. So I just want to ask from someone like yourself, who have actually invested yourself, traded stocks before, amazing experience. What are the top 3 tips you provide a newbie like me to get started, to learn stock trading?
My key advice here is first invest into education. And my second advice is surrounding yourself with the right people. Because if you surround yourself with a bunch of speculators, chances are that's gonna be your norm. And you guys will start to speculate on what's the next big thing. You start to read newspaper and say, hey, this is going on and let's invest into these stocks. And very often most people lose money because they buy on rumors but they sell on facts. So the key here is to invest into a community where you are able to get the right information, right? And it's only through the right education you are able to analyze this information. So personally, my method has always been investing a lot into education. It's true by standing at the shoulders of giants, you're able to shortcut your learning curve. And at the same time, I built a community of my own today. And I highly encourage young people out there who is in this competition. From this competition, you're able to gather the friends who are like-minded, right?
Yes.
And this is where you're able to build your own community.
Excellent. It's all about reaching yourself with knowledge, surrounding yourself with the right people, and then you gain the fundamentals. And that will also help you remove your fear. Because you're in a community of like-minded people. For me, they're also in this KenTrade Challenge. They're also there with you. It's good to bounce some ideas off each other. And just be curiously interested with knowledge. I think that's very powerful, right? John, talking about that, a lot of people, like a lot of my peers, a lot of you watching right now, are part of the KenTrade Challenge for different reasons. And I'd just like to ask, when you talk about stock investing or stock trading, in your opinion, is it a wealth accumulation strategy or is it a wealth generation strategy? Share your thoughts, please.
Well, it depends on how do you look at stock trading, because it's both. It can be a wealth generating strategy. It can also be a wealth accumulation strategy. And most often traders see it as a wealth generation strategy. These are day traders who buy and sell within a week. They do it very fast, they make profit straight away, they take profit, and these are what I call traders. Personally, I'm not a trader. I'm not saying that it's wrong to be a trader. Personally, I prefer to build wealth. And that's my goal, because ultimately the reason why I'm investing is because I want to achieve the ultimate dream of financial freedom. Right? And the only way you can achieve financial freedom is when your passive income exceeds your expenses.
Yes.
And I firmly believe in building this portfolio, because when you focus on building this portfolio, you have some stocks which belongs to the emerging category, that belongs to the turnaround category. You also have stocks that belongs to the investment grade category. And these are the companies that's doing pretty well, and they are able to generate very good profits, very good free cash flow for the shareholders, and this is where they are able to generate very good dividend yield. So I personally look at it as a wealth building strategy, a wealth accumulation strategy.
It depends on what strategy you deploy.
And the only way you can do that is stop looking at individual stocks, but look at the totality of these equities as a portfolio.
Right. Excellent. I thought the KenTrade Challenge is an excellent platform for people like, I would say, newbies like myself to really explore stock trading and also to understand my risk appetite. Because can I actually get accustomed to what's really the fast pace of stock trading, or do I just want to identify some really solid counters and just put it in and let my portfolio grow? So that would be stock investing, that would be like value accumulation versus previously, I would say, generation. And very powerful stuff, Jonathan. One last question, which is also very important. I'm starting up. I'm in this KenTrade Challenge because I want to explore this new world of stock trading and investment. What would be your most powerful tip that you would advise a new person like me going in to this new adventure?
Well,
Let me just give you a metaphor. If today you do not know how to drive and I give you the keys to a Lamborghini, chances are you can crash yourself and burn.
That's true.
Right?
Yes.
And my advice is to really start small. Get yourself a kanchiel. Start learning about kanchiel, because most people, they invest into stocks yet they don't understand the language of business.
Right.
They do not understand how to analyze business models. And I personally like to invest within my circle of competence.
Know yourself very well.
And it's your role to expand your circle of competence.
Right.
That's why you're able to look at things very differently. I believe that for everyone out there, they got to understand the language of business, because there's so many companies that has sales records, breaking sales records year after year. But when you really understand accounting, when you invest looking at numbers, looking at facts, you realize that revenue is vanity, profit is sanity, it's free cash flow that's king.
I like it how you put all those catchphrases inside. You're the man, you're the man.
So my advice is understand the language of business. And most of the people out there, when they get involved with stock trading, they're just speculating. They look at it as a lottery ticket. But when you look at it as a new knowledge of understanding a new language, the next thing you got to do is, if you want to learn a Korean language, you got to fly to Korea,
Right.
hang out with your Korean friends, continuously speak this language, and that's how you improve. Now, and when it comes to stock trading, it's the same thing. You're going to learn a new language right now. It's the language of business. You got to get involved with it. You got to get into simulation game like KenTrade. And later on, you got to start to invest your real money. And then when you have a skin in the game, that's where you start to surround yourself with people who speak the same language.
You just summed up all my points. I want to thank you so much again for making time. This is Jonathon Quek here.
Thanks for having
shared. He is the ace, personally for me, and you shared so much powerful points and further strengthened my conviction that I'm gonna do this Kenanga KenTrade Challenge really well. It's a great avenue for me to experiment, great avenue for me to discover more about myself, and like you said, learn a new business language, and that is the language of stock trading or stock investment. Thank you again. Michael Teo here signing off. Take care everyone. Bye.
Bye.